All right, welcome to another hashtag 530 live, which we are going to switch up soon. I did mention it last week when I was with Luke. I have Mr. Cox with us this week, and we're discussing, does the telephone still work? Now, my opinion, absolutely, but it has to be done correctly. And again, it's still a phenomenal prospecting tool. What about yourself?
Does the telephone still work? Of course it works. It
Yeah,
rings.
of
Doesn't
course,
yours
yeah.
ring?
I don't know. What is it? I don't know why people shy away from it. I don't know whether it's some, I don't know, whether they don't believe it works, whether they're not comfortable with it. They say, oh yeah, nobody picks up, but then that's a different kettle of fish in a different direction, which we'll come on to later. So yeah, I don't get where people really do shy away from the telephone.
So what we're talking about is people obviously picking up the phone, cold
Yeah,
calling, making a
yeah,
call. Hi, saw you sign in on the back of your van or whatever. Just want to have a chat with you, see if there's any help we can do.
yeah. Because I mean, the thing for me, like we mentioned, cold calling there. Cold calling, I'm not a big fan on. As we've just been talking before that. Informed calling, I am, and that's where there's a mixture of that combo prospecting. There's a number of books on it. I think I've got some down here by I think it's Mark Hunter and Tony Hughes. Tony Hughes did one called Combo Prospecting, which is all around sort of like your social media in one hand and your telephone in the other, and you're socially listening, and that's again with your social media and your digital marketing strategy. You need to be socially listening and engaging, being able to pick up that informed decision. So that when you do make the phone call, I read as I was looking at this today, I read somebody they were saying that the social media and your social media content, digital marketing content, in some respects is pushing it out there and getting you leading people up the ladder or through the funnel, and the telephone is actually the arrow point, the arrowhead that actually so you pick it up and you've got all this information and all this data to make those informed calls, and it's about them. It's not about you, and it's not about a hard sell. It is about an informed decision, informed telephone call about them and what you can do for them. So it's a lot more value added. I thought that was a cracking little analogy with this. All your social media is on this, and then your telephone is the arrowhead actually on the arrow, and that's the one that does it. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about cold calling? Would you?
I
Would
think
you?
if it's done right, I think there's no harm in it. I
Yeah.
mean, we've all had cold calls, we've all had phone calls. Obviously, GDPR and everything's got in the way, and it's slowed it a little bit, but it still does carry on. But I'm happy to receive a cold call. Because sometimes people come in with some really good ideas, some things we hadn't thought of. Also, it's nice to know you've actually said to someone, "Look, yes, thanks, but no thanks." And politely as well. If they carry on, it's a bit different, And normally, mentally, I've made a note of what they are, who they are, and have they asked permission to call back in 6 months or something? And it's when they don't listen that's the problem. That's what I look at. So I remember a couple of years ago, I had someone ring me on a Monday, rang me on a Tuesday, rang me on a Wednesday. You can see what's coming here. By the Friday, they'd rang me 5 times that week, and on the fifth day, I managed to trace the number and actually reported it because it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was just ridiculous. And what it was the company. I found it one company's house, got a hold of the director, and said, "Look, I'm ever so sorry. I'm going to file a complaint here against your company if you don't tell this person to phone me and apologise." And he just said, "Look, we've got someone working from home. Really sorry, it won't happen again." And to be fair, we didn't have another conversation or call from them. But that's the only real bad example I've ever had. If not, I'm always happy to receive one because we've all got to generate business, and it's a way of obviously having a conversation.
And that's the thing for me is a we take. It's like, is sales a dirty word? No, it's not. We've all got to make sales. We've all, whoever's in business has got to make sales, and we shy away from these things because we're frightened to do it. No, it's the wrong thing to do. No, it's not. We've got to make sales, so you've got to test and try stuff. The what was this? There was something you said there around. Oh shit! I forgot what it was now. I'll come back to it. Yeah, I'll come back to it. But anyway, from a calling point of view, it'll come back to me because I've got a real shocking short-term memory. Um, when we do calls, what about scripts? Big fan?
We don't cold call, and I never have cold called. For me, I always look at receiving inbound. So, inbound marketing leads, inbound opportunities, inbound inquiries. And that goes for inbound cold calls as well. The ones that annoy me, the ones that haven't done the research, or they're, oh, hi, is that the company owner? You're like, you can't even be bothered to look up people's names.
Yeah.
That's just dreadful.
Shocking.
Let alone when you get someone that rings you and says, oh, we're a utility company. And you're like, but all our utilities are included in the rent and we're all in. We don't need your service. So when they ring back, they're the ones you sort of think, oh, you just haven't listened. And it's the art of listening, isn't it? It's about, listening to the information that's being portrayed and given back to that person. But, someone's got to do it. It can be a real challenge, I'd imagine, to sit on the phone all day and literally keep ringing people. I mean, it must be so demoralizing doing it, but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, Kelly's just put on here, I'm not a fan of scripts. Now, what I was going to say is that in some respects is when people shy away from the telephone, like we've just said, and it may be could be some limiting beliefs, it could be procrastination because they're not comfortable, and that's where I believe that scripts could help and be beneficial in the early stages. So if you're just new into it, is creating something that's comfortable that you can rely on, because like we were discussing just prior to this, is that you've got three chances when you make a phone call. It'll either go to voicemail, you'll either get a gatekeeper, or you'll actually get the person you're after, and each one of those is a different message, a different sort of like type of message, and a different way. Now if you're not comfortable in going, or so if you're going to be surprised by one of those, like getting the gatekeeper and like, oh shit, now what do I say, it doesn't come across well, does it? You've got to be confident, you've got to be energetic, you've got to be passionate. It's got to really shine through. Now, scripts may be a way of doing that in the early stages, so you become comfortable with it, then bin it off, because then you practice like anything. In a month or so, you're superb at it. You can get on with it. Kelly's just put up on here, the problem with GDPR is that you can no longer ask for the direct name. You have to call and ask to speak with the MD or FD. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely, Kelly. So yeah, it is. I think the scripts has a place, but it's not. You can't be, verbatim just reading off. It don't work for me. It don't work at all.
The ones that I don't like are the ones that are trying to obviously bypass the system and actually get you. So, I mean, to give you an example, we had one the other week. They rang up and they said, "Oh, hi, you offer graphic design services?" And we went, "Yes." So we thought it was an inbound inquiry. I started talking to the guy, and then he turned the conversation. And he was an outsourced. He basically wanted us to outsource work to him, and I just said, "Look, very nice what you've tried there, but you're never gonna succeed taking that route, because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is you're trying to convert the conversation from what I thought was an inbound lead, inbound, marketing activity, and you want to talk to us about what we're doing. So, technically, we've just given you some information, and then you're saying, ah, great, well, I can offer this. We're like, well, why have you rang us? Ah, I got it now. You want some work? And he went, yeah. I said, no.
Yeah,
straightforward as that.
And that for me is sort of like, it's dishonest, isn't it? It's not the way you do business. You've got to have a genuine, be honest integrity around it. There's no point in trying to flower it and BS it, because it'll catch you out. It'll catch you out. Yeah. Now, what did come back to me was when you were turning around and saying about the call that he did, the one call, or he or she did one call on Monday, then the following one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday. I'd read, and I think it was last year somewhere, it might have been longer than that, might have been a couple of years back, where there was a new approach of like a 90-second rule, where they were sending an email within once they've sent the email, it was waiting 90 seconds, making a phone call went through, they'd have a conversation, it went through to voicemail, they'd leave a message, and then they'd do another, send a message like on LinkedIn 90 seconds after that. So 3 sort of like messages within the space of 180 seconds. And I thought, really? And they were saying that worked, and I thought, God, I can't believe that.
But that would not work with me. If I put my head down in something and I get a phone call, an email, and a LinkedIn contact come through inside a minute and a half, you've just totally lost me. Yeah. It's I've just seen it once. Why would I want to hear it and then see it again? It's crazy. But the good thing I find with cold callers, I do like to play games with them occasionally. I do like to try and have a little bit of fun. So, if someone's taken the time to call me or call us here, and in the past, obviously, I'm intrigued. Why they're ringing? What is it we've got that you can help us with? But normally, most of the time, I actually say to them, obviously, you're looking to meet new people. Like, yeah, we are. Yeah, we'd love some new business. Great. I run a networking event, and I actually say to them, I know you've got to cold call, but why don't you actually come out and meet people? And it's really encouraging, actually, when they do come, because it shows they've got balls and they're not just one of those that wants to sit on the telephone and just sit and work through a phone list. But and if they're small businesses, that it's going to appreciate the value in coming to a network meeting. But and of course, I've got another person I've brought along, haven't I? So, but it has worked in the past. I've converted a incoming cold call to actually visit and take them along to network meetings. So, all good fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I was just reading something up here that Kelly was saying. So I think you have to make. We've talked about scripts. I think you have to make the script conversational, rather than sounding like you're reading. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you do.
It's got to be so natural and so passionate around what you do and energetic authority. Do you know what I mean? You've got to come across superb, and that's the same with the voicemail, because if you go through to a voicemail and you're shit at recording a voicemail, so you haven't got that succinct message down, it's gonna look bad on you, and you ain't gonna get it. Now, and a lot of people will use, because I do it, will use voicemail to screen what's coming in anyway. And again, so if you use a bad message, you're not going to get it back. You're not going to get the call. Follow up then. We were talking about follow up there, because follow up is key within this the sales side, and particularly with as with anything, you do it through email, do it through text, do it through phone. What's your experience of good follow up process? And
what are you defining, or what do you mean by follow up?
If you say, let's say we made a phone call, gone through to voicemail, left a voicemail message, when would you contact them again?
Good question. When would I contact them again? So you've left a voicemail. Normally, there's a reason why you're ringing them. So I would know when I'm ringing somebody why I'm ringing them and potentially what I'm ringing them about. So what I would look at is, in my head, would I ring them the next day? No. But if I get a detection that it's a potential urgent inquiry or there's a bit of urgency in their inquiry, then yeah, I probably would. So I would leave it a couple of days at least. But normally, follow it up with either a LinkedIn message or an email. Hi Gary, just left a message on your voicemail. Sorry, couldn't get to you. So I know that there's 2 points of contact that's come through, because it could be that he's got his hands in a washing up bowl. It could be that he's changing the oil filter on the car, and there's a reason why he's not able to get to the phone. But he might go back and go, I haven't checked. I'll check my phone later. I'm covered in dirt. Then goes onto his laptop covered in dirt, and then he's obviously seeing the email coming in. So I always back it up almost immediately with a LinkedIn message, and the same when I send something to somebody as well. So if I know someone's waiting for something from us, I'll send them a LinkedIn message or a WhatsApp and just say, look, just sent your email to you. So follow up, I think it depends on the kind of the urgency of what it's about, but also possibly the relationship you got with that person as well.
Yeah, and like you said there, though, it's not, again, the telephone is important, very important, because I just think it's a direct conversation with the person, so it's very, very personal. You can control it, it's under control, and it's powerful. But we also have these other platforms, like you just said. Then we've got LinkedIn, and we have a direct LinkedIn there, linked connection there, and we can actually use voice messages on that, which are really have big impact on LinkedIn, doing a voice message. So there are other options as well around communication and following up, but the follow up is key on any of the sales and marketing side, without a doubt. What about existing customers? Can I look at this one as well? Is because we tend to get we've got our customers, and a lot of people shy away from phoning our existing customers. Oh yeah, no, we've done it for them. We've finished with them. But that's not necessarily the case. Is that you could be calling your existing customer base. If you take the COVID and pandemic, calling your existing customer base, seeing how they're getting on, see if there's anything that you can do for them in helping them through it, and vice versa. Is a powerful bloody thing as well. You could even down to asking around for feedback on the services you've done for them, and get some learning, even down to referrals. You could ask for people from a referrals, but not necessarily probably COVID, but coming out of it, you've been through this process, you've given me some feedback on what I could do with improve it. If I improve it and I'll come back to you and show you that we've improved it, would you be interested again? Or, do you know anybody else that'd want it? So again, we shy away from that, I think, as well. I don't know whether you.
Yeah, it comes down to the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
It's the fear of no. It's like fear of go away. It's the fear of, and I think at the end of the day, if you bring a current existing client up and say, hi, great to do business with you last year. How are you? And they're like, oh, great to hear from you. And then we've now offered this, or we've now got this new service that we want to talk to you about. You can probably have a conversation about it because you just update them on what you're doing and where things are going. But some people can obviously take offense to that and go, oh, he's just trying to sell me more. So, I'm a big believer a lot of it comes down to the strength of the relationship, but also the reason why you're calling as well. And for us, I mean, we introduced the podcast channel at the end of last year for the business. So, I was contacting clients and saying, oh, hi, great to do some business with you. Can we get you onto the podcast channel? And a few of them went, yeah, we'd love to do it, which meant we had an opportunity then to talk to them off air and say, oh, how's things? Anything else you need at the moment? So we had a valid reason to contact them without selling. We're actually offering more, and for us, obviously, chance to talk about the products and service we supplied, get some feedback from them, but also to help them get their message heard about what they're about. So the whole of the company podcasting was, we haven't done too many recordings, but it's opening doors for us to be able to do that. And also, I think as well, in my role here, I focus, I would love to say 100% on the marketing, but I'm about 85 to 90% on the marketing. There's always the odd 10% of can you do this and I've got to do this sort of thing. But most of it is to engage and talk with people and, understand where they're at as well, but also to help them. So, I'll phone a client and say, oh, how's things going? Oh, not too good. Right. Well, what's the problem? Let's try and analyze the problem out for you. And we don't even charge for that. That's a case of just a bit of TLC and, talking through a client. So, and again, with us as well, because a lot of our route to market is via the business networks and things like that, meeting people via networks virtually and face to face, then we're always seeing those people. And that's why I'm a big advocate for networking, because if you are networking, you are seeing people on a regular basis. And as you get to know people, then the telephone, again, going back to the whole telephone thing, it's not a telephone message or a text. It becomes a WhatsApp. It becomes, I've just had a message come through, a Facebook message has come through from a client of ours. So, it's about the strength of the relationship, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is, yeah. It's strange. Do you think the things will change as we go on? Because we're coming out of this the COVID side, the pandemic. And the tendency is that when we say, oh, do you fancy a call? It's, yeah, do you want to do a Zoom one? And it's not no longer the phone. It's like, let's go on the. And so I did one the other day. I did fact the other day and last week where I'd got my video on and they hadn't, and it was just a voice call, but it was done over Zoom.
And it's interesting because we had a new inquiry yesterday, and I really wanted to really, well, I'll tell you what happened. She rang in. She said, I'm looking for this to be done. I was like, okay, no problem. We need to set up a meeting, an appointment. How would you like the appointment? And she said, have I got to come to the studio? And I said, no, you could do it over Zoom. Or if you wanted, Google, Teams, whatever's easiest. We're flexible on whichever platform. She said, can we do it over the phone? And I went, yeah. She goes, great. She wanted it over the phone. Now, as we were talking previously, we've got this camper van that's just arrived, this 21-year-old bone shaker, which we're going to convert. But we'll actually be saying, do you want to meet us in the camper van at some point? So, yeah. But it's having the flexibility of saying to people, how would you like us to contact you? And then where they're at. I love the phone ringing. I think that the buzz of the phone ringing, go, hello, going back to like 20, 30 years ago, you're pacing the floor as a yuppie sort of thing with a mobile phone to your ear. So I love the fact my phone rings. And I actually noticed that going into COVID, a lot of the phone just dropped. It hardly rang. It was incredible actually noticing it. So a lot of the things were done obviously via Zoom, via email, and people were WhatsApping and just doing their own thing. Because I think, could they really, if everyone's remote working and they've got dogs and delivery guys and, children at home as well, do they really have the time and space to be able to make the phone call? And that's why a lot of it was probably digital communication. So interesting. But now it rings. If it rings, great. If anything, I feel really bad actually when I miss a phone call because I'm on a Zoom call, but that's how it is.
It is, yeah, it is. It's strange how things are going, and I had wonder whether there was a difference within the younger generation around, because well, again, no, is when you say that around audio and voice, but I watch my kids, and in particular Mia. She was sat next to me last night. I thought she was talking to me, but she wasn't. She was holding the phone up and doing a voicemail message to one of her mates, and she was doing that a number of times. Wasn't texting. It's voicemail.
The voice recording instead of the voice recording? Yeah, I use it all the time. Use it all the time.
And it's just, she was quick as a shot, straight off. And again, it's again, I think it is with anything, as long as it's you're confident with it, and if you're not confident with it, you've just got to push yourself to be confident with it, get practice in, and and just keep moving on with it, don't you? Because it is still a very powerful bloody tool. Telephone, there's no two ways about it.
Massively.
Yeah.
Massively.
I mean, one of the things. I mean, I look up here because I did a presentation on prospecting. The last thing I hit is on the telephone. I got it up here. Last but not least, why does the telephone work, and why is it important? Because, like I just said, it's direct conversation. People meet people. But the other thing, it builds rapport and creates a personal connection. Do you think it's better than Zoom in some respects for building that rapport?
Telephone.
Yeah.
I think for a start, if you're on the phone, you haven't got the broadband challenge for a start. You haven't got the potential delays, the technology issues, because obviously mobile technology is pretty much up to date. I mean, going back like 10, 15 years ago, when you start talking to someone, you can hear them, you can hear there's a signal problem, things like that. So I think you can get a better quality phone call than you can a better quality Zoom. But I get where people are actually at these days. They like to click. We're creatures of habit. We've got into this habit of Zoom now. Shall we Zoom? Oh, okay. It's going to be in the dictionary at some point, isn't it? About shall we Zoom will be the bling catchphrase of 2020, I think, as well as can you hear me?
You're on mute.
Oh, the one I just wanted was next slide, please. And I went, no, please, I don't want to hear that.
That's one thing you don't get with the phone now. You're on mute. You used to, with the first enable the touch screens, you used to put them up. Your face touched the button because they got the position of the mute, and you turn yourself on mute so nobody could hear you. I can remember that years back though now, but you don't get that now. But
going back to the phone as well, the good thing about technology these days is that an incoming phone call can be directed and transfer between mobiles, and I think that is phenomenal to be able to do that. So, as businesses have had to, readjust how they've survived the last year, an incoming phone call can come into my mobile. I can answer the phone. If we don't get it with an X amount of rings, somebody else will pick it up in the team. We've got like a hunt group that will go around and pick the phone, sense the phone's ringing. And then we can transfer the calls. From the same building as somebody else, I can put it on mute and just hand them my mobile, and away we go. So there's some big advantages with telephones, without a doubt. Still, without a doubt,
there is. I'm in total agreement, and I think the thing. But one of the things I'll end on here is as with anything, is as we're using the telephone, so make sure you record what not, and I don't mean record the call, but record what's happened in your CRM database, so you've got the information, and you're making those informed decisions, around what's the next step and next stage for it.
Yeah, I mean, we had a bit of a situation last week where we had a lot going on inside an hour. There was a lot of phone calls going around. And, obviously, we had to then have that slow down, digest what had actually happened. And the first thing I said was, have a look at your phone, because it's the history of what's actually happened. And, what you just said there is really important. So at the end of today, if I was on my phone constantly throughout the day, traveling around, or, just a busy day, loads of inquiries coming in or whatever, then why shouldn't you actually flick through your phone and go, okay, so I've made 3 calls today. Okay, I've had 4 incoming calls. I can see who they're from, or if not, if I can't, I'll Google the number and find out who the number is, because most people got their mobile numbers out there as well. So the phone can play such a massive part. What I haven't worked out at the moment is, I don't use my phone for Zoom calls, so I don't know whether if I'm on Zoom, like we are now, if we're on Zoom and all of a sudden the phone rings, I don't know whether the phone call takes priority, whether the Zoom stays there and gets interrupted by the phone call. I haven't actually experienced that yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I couldn't tell you that. I haven't. That would be. I've been interrupted whilst on Zoom, whilst I've been sat here on the lives, and the phone's gone off.
Yeah, mine's just gone off just now. It's always on mute.
Yeah, have it on mute. It's just high volume bloody ringtone. So I've done that a number of times. But I suppose
Well, I tell you what we need. I tell you what we need. I mean, I've got an iPhone. What I need is I need an automated message that when when the phone call comes in, if I'm on Zoom, I've got a quick one finger press on the screen that says, "Sorry, can't talk to you. Currently zooming." That's what we should have.
Yeah, because you have that in the car. Because I think I know Amy. She does that. Amy Foster. She does that. Is that she's on in the car and you make a phone call. If she's transitioning or on a call, it automatically sends a message back saying, "I'm on a call at the minute," while she's in a car, or she's got a number of it.
Currently travelling.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've got it on mine.
Yeah, and so you must be able to. I reckon you must be able to do that with Zoom. You must be able to.
I'm gonna have a look now. I'm gonna have a look. There must be a custom message you can send back, and actually, this is probably something really worth looking at because if you've got someone that you really know well, you can actually have a bit of fun, I think, in some of the messages. Sorry, can't take your call now. What do you want? Sort of thing, and they're going to go, oh my gosh, how quickly did they send that? Because, or it could be, when you get the out of office greetings, oh sorry, can't make the phone right now. We're currently sunbathing in the middle of Africa or whatever. Maybe something. But tailor it towards the business would be quite a good bit of fun, especially where we've been over the last 18 months with all this COVID virus, just a bit of humour as well. So
yeah, definitely. I'm going to have to look at that now, actually. Definitely. Well, I think we've done that one to death on this one. So yeah, keep using the telephone. It's not extinct yet. I don't think it will be for a long time.
no.
So yes, with that, thank you very much, Simon. And that's the end of this hashtag 5:30 live this week, and we will probably do it at an earlier time next week. But so just keep an eye out on it. So excellent. See you next week.